All righty, folks. I don't know if you've seen the massive plays being put on by Rocket Companies, but apparently Rocket Companies is trying to build the first vertically integrated real estate play. They are looking to take out real estate agents, take out mortgage brokers, which might give them a very interesting play, but it also is going to change the real estate game forever. So I want to talk to Matt, the mortgage guy, and see what's what. He's obviously a part of UWM and that army of resources, but it's going to be interesting. Rocket versus UWM, Rocket versus the real estate game. Is it changed? Is it changed forever? What's going on, Matt? What do you got to say?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some pros and cons here, and I broke down some of them on a video I made, and since I made that video on my YouTube channel, I've got more and more information. Matt Ishbia from UWM said it really well this morning. None of us should be surprised. Rocket has kind of shown their cards, and for those that were paying attention, understood what they were trying to do. You know, they've got a humongous retail operation, you know, call centers, they're going direct to consumer. And, you know, they've done other stuff where they've created these partnerships with State Farm, with Keller Williams, where they're trying to get to the end consumer and, you know, have this big marketing machine built for it. And so first Redfin, right? And they acquired Redfin 1.7 billion or whatever. And Redfin's got endless real estate data, real estate leads. This is a play to get to the consumer. And then, you know, the mega merger with Mr. Cooper for 9.4 billion. Mr. Cooper is the largest servicer in the country. They service a ton of loans. And for anybody who's in mortgage, they know, and as a consumer, you should kind of understand this too. The person who sends you your monthly mortgage statement, who services your loan, like that is owning the right to that just gives them, they're in your mailbox every month. They have a reason to call you and say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, what about a refinance? And anybody who's got a servicer like a Mr. Cooper or some of these other ones that are more aggressive, understand when they want to generate business, they will beat you over the head until you tell them, leave me alone, or do business with them. And so as much as it's a play for anything else, Rocket Companies, Rocket Mortgage is now going to be controlling 1 in 6 mortgages. Like that's what the numbers say, Mike, is that, you know, if Mr. Cooper services 10 million consumers, you know, it's trillions of dollars in mortgages. 1 in 6, which is a crazy huge number, is going to be, you know, in essence controlled by Rocket. And there's good that could come out of it. There's also a lot of stuff to be worried about or concerned about. What I am concerned about more than anything, because I've said it here, I don't think it's a secret for anybody who knows how Rocket operates. They're a company out to make a profit. Whether it serves you as a consumer or not, whether it makes sense or not, they are going to, you know, have metrics and sales teams, and they're going to look to get, you know, the next refinance, whether it makes sense to you or not. And so as an independent mortgage broker, you know, I broker to UWM, I broker to EPM and Windsor and AFR. I believe the side of the fence that I'm on is having somebody who knows, you know, finance to a certain level, having somebody who is more than just click button, get mortgage, or answering phones in a call center, is what best serves the consumer. And so that's the side of the fence I'm on. And then on the Rocket side, whether they'll admit it publicly or not, you know, we're trying to build this convenient end-to-end customer solution for the whole home buying journey. You know, they want to own the title company and the real estate transaction and the mortgage transaction and, you know, Rocket Money for your finances. They want to own all of it. But, you know, the people that serve the consumer are, you know, entry-level call center people. Like, that's not who you don't want to get your financial advising from a rookie, and not speaking bad on those people, but they just don't know what they don't know. And so it's two different ways to do business. And I was surprised. Matt Ishbia, although he's, his number one competitor is Rocket, basically said, one, I'm not surprised. Two, I don't have to agree with it. I don't have to like it, but I should respect that that's how they're going about getting business. And that's their business. That's their business model and their strategy. And so it'll be interesting to see. I think most people that are looking at this are, wait and see. Personally, and I'll stop talking because I'm a long-winded guy. I'm interested to see. I made one video, Mike, where so many of my past clients got servicing sold to Mr. Cooper because they were buying everything and they're the biggest servicer. So I made a video kind of telling people it's just collecting payments and processing payments. Not a big deal. Who cares who's servicing your? This was like 6 months ago or 12 months ago. I was surprised at how many comments were dissatisfied. They didn't like Mr. Cooper. And so, with this new kind of mega merger conglomerate, I think consumer sentiment around Rocket isn't great either. And so, this mega company is going to be controlling 1 in 6 mortgages, and you're like it or not, a lot of people are going to be dealing with them. Be interesting to see how that goes over.
Yeah, I think there's, again, right, as somebody who studied business for a long time, been part of acquisitions, been purchased as well, I guess I have a couple of thoughts. Number one, I think Matt Ishbia is right. This is a purposeful play to be the first vertically integrated housing play. From interest, like I'm searching on Redfin, to servicing a loan. So, and to your point, that vertical integration will give them some unique insights and unique opportunity to drum up business when they need it, right? They're having a soft quarter, send out a bunch of mailers about refi, right? It's going to be like a boiler house on steroids. But the other side of me is like, this is the big question I have is, assuming these close, which they're not closed yet, but let's assume they close, what could Rocket offer that no one else can? And I think the answer is a pretty long list. I mean, think about it. If you really own the agent, the mortgage, and the servicing business, and you could rope somebody into a contract that says you're going to use my services soup to nuts, you could theoretically, you could use the real estate agent commission as a loss leader and say, we'll do this for a flat fee. Or, I mean, it could get really, really wild if Redfin wanted to get kind of really aggressive or
right. No, and that's exactly where my mind went, Mike. When you're a monster and you've got multiple different products, loss leader, whatever you want to call it, you can offer one for free. And
exactly.
In the builder world, the builder goes, listen, we own a mortgage company. We do that for free, as long as you give us our price on the home sale. And so with this integration, massive efficiencies because they're so large, but also, like you said, it's like, which one do we want to just annihilate the competition because we can do it and we don't have to make any money off of it? Your title services with us are free. Now they own title because they're doing it for nothing or next to nothing, and nobody can compete. Or, kind of pick your poison. They can do the loan at a discount, or they can do the real estate at a big discount. They can kind of, strategically use the fact that they're getting multiple pieces of the pie to eat up whatever segment or whatever, lane they want.
So I think this is a real possibility. I think the real estate landscape by 2026 will be fundamentally different. I'm not saying better. I'm saying different. It could be better, could be worse. I don't know. But the other thing I think about is this is going to force competitors' hands, right? Could Zillow be on the block? Maybe. right? Could some of these other listing services, could some of the other servicers be on the block? Could a mortgage company be on the block that somebody else buys? I don't think Rocket will be the last vertically integrated company. I think there will be others put together, but because the opportunity is just too big. I mean, if you think about the life cycle of a mortgage, it really does start with interest in buying. If you come out and say, hey, you use a Redfin agent, a Rocket agent, we charge you nothing, but you have to use these other two services, game over, right? Why would you go to any other agent?
Right.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's one of those things where, a savvy consumer might look at it and say, I'm using this service and you're going to discount it. You're going to give it to me for free. But if,
the savvy consumer, but let's be real. What percentage of consumers are savvy? It ain't 100.
Yeah. So it's like, use an agent that's going to end up, costing you $20,000 more on the purchase price. You can save $6,000. And oh, by the way, you also get overcharged $3,000 on the mortgage and your title fees are double. That's, you have to have some level of lens to be able to see through that stuff. But yeah, you're right. The average consumer, which that's always been my gripe with Rocket, is from the data I've seen, from the information I've got, they go after low FICO, low financial education folks and just take advantage of them. And this is just a way to do it at scale and do more of it. One thing I want to add, Mike, because I just think it's fascinating. People talked about like Redfin, that price being low, like only 1.7 billion. But if you want to talk about how valuable consumer data is, for people that didn't know this, Redfin operated for 20 years and lost money for 20 years. So a company that lost money for 2 decades sold for $1.7 billion because they have the data. And really, I've always been a fan of the technology. Like Redfin for home searches and all the stuff they do it really, really well. And, well enough to where someone's offered them almost $2 billion.
A really nice exit.
You're right. Yeah. I think you're exactly right. The landscape likely forever changed, and it'll be interesting to see how other companies operate, and if there's more mergers, which we're bound to see, how smaller companies and operators can differentiate themselves to survive and thrive going forward. Because I've seen some talk from the real estate community on this, where forever there's going to be technology and there's going to be things that come along that are threatening replacing them.
Yep.
And for the best agents that know their value and say, listen, if you're buying in these 4 zip codes, I've lived and breathed and studied, and I know these 4 zip codes better than anybody in the world. No amount of technology or AI or any of that can replace me, and not just my knowledge of it, but my relationships with every agent in the market, my ability to negotiate on your behalf, all of that stuff. Like, it just becomes more important because these mega companies are, like you said, going to be able to offer discount, and they're going to be able to structure things that look really attractive to the average consumer.
Yep. Folks, at the end of the day, what you're going to find very quickly is you got to work with somebody who cares about you, knows your file. You're not just some number in a call center being hard sold. Matt, if somebody wanted to reach out to you and get something started, what do they do?
Go to greatmortgagebroker.com. And besides, the normal spiel, which is get yourself pre-approved, know your numbers, it's valuable. I was reminded yesterday, and I've started to make it a joke with people that reach out. Listen, my scenario is a little bit unique. Everyone's is, right? And the call I got yesterday, simple stuff, right? Divorce, a few little, different nuances to this deal. But I'm like, you want to hear about a real wild deal? Let me tell you some details of some other stuff I've worked on in the last 12 months. And so everybody's scenario is unique. Everybody's, goals and all that is unique. And so even with great technology. I'm a big fan of AI. I'm a big fan of being able to talk into my phone and get, detailed feedback. At the end of the day, talking to a human being who's, operated in the markets that you're looking to do business in, who's worked with 15 or 20 different lenders to find unique solutions for unique people's scenarios. That's what you're looking for. So greatmortgagebroker.com to connect with me and my team. If we're not the right fit, just make sure that you connect with a human who's got experience doing it. I promise your experience will be better. I think all of us have experienced being on the phone, pressing 5 for this, pressing 4 for that. And I'm like, is there somebody at DirecTV can just talk to me? 90 seconds of your time to talk me through this problem, which reminds me, I got to call DirecTV today.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. Later.
Yeah, thanks, Mike.